Olivia and Sophia were sisters and best friends with a very special secret. Their grandma wasn't just any grandma. She was a magic grandma. Every time they visited her little cottage with a crooked chimney, they knew an adventure was waiting. Today was no different. Their car pulled up, and before it had even stopped, Olivia, who was 6 and always ready for wonder and adventure, unbuckled her belt. 4-year-old Sophia, with her bright, curious eyes, was already bouncing in her seat. "Grandma! Grandma!" they chanted, tumbling out of the car. Grandma was waiting at the door, her eyes twinkling like stars and her smile as warm as a freshly baked cookie. She gave them huge, squeezy hugs, smelling of lavender and freshly baked bread. "My little darlings, come in! Come in! I have a feeling today is a day for something sparkling." They rushed into the living room, a cozy space with a big squashy sofa, shelves filled with interesting things, and a window that looked out onto a garden bursting with flowers. "Grandma," Olivia whispered, her eyes wide, "can we go on an adventure today?" Sophia nodded eagerly. "A really, really magical one?" Grandma chuckled, a soft musical sound. "A magical one, you say? Well, I suppose my trusty helper and I are ready." She reached behind a cushion on the sofa and pulled out a small wooden box carved with swirling patterns. Inside, nestled on soft velvet, was a tiny corked bottle. It shimmered with all the colours of the rainbow. "Is that?" Olivia breathed, knowing exactly what it was. "Yes, indeed," Grandma beamed. "My famous one and only magic glitter." She uncorked the bottle, and a soft, shimmery dust began to float out, catching the sunlight like 1,000 tiny diamonds. Grandma took a pinch of the glitter between her fingers, closed her eyes, and whispered, "Let the everyday fade. Let wonder fill this space. Let fairy tales come alive in this very place." Then, with a gentle flick of her wrist, she sprinkled the magic glitter into the air. Whoosh! The glitter swirled like a miniature rainbow tornado. As it danced through the living room, everything began to change. The beige rug under their feet softened and turned into a carpet of velvety green moss, dotted with tiny glowing wildflowers that pulsed with gentle light. The big, squashy sofa grew taller and wider, its cushions becoming giant, soft toadstools, vibrant red with white spots. The curtains on the window shimmered and transformed into tall, graceful willow trees, their leaves twinkling with dewdrops, and through them, Sophia swore she could see tiny fireflies blinking. They were no longer in Grandma's living room and now found themselves in a wondrous new place, where a babbling brook emerged, shimmering with fresh, cool water. Little stepping stones, polished and smooth, invited them to cross. Glittering butterflies with wings like stained glass fluttered past their noses, and a soft, tinkling sound filled the air, like 100 tiny bells ringing far away. The air smelled sweet, like honeysuckle and morning dew. Sophia gasped, pointing. "Look, Olivia!" A tiny fairy zipped past them on iridescent wings, leaving a trail of sparkling dust. "Welcome, my dears," Grandma said, her voice sounding like a whisper carried on a gentle breeze. "Welcome to Fairyland." Olivia carefully stepped onto the smooth stones, crossing the tiny brook and peeked behind a toadstool, half expecting to find a fairy's house. They danced among the glowing flowers, watched the fireflies blink in the willow trees, and even found a tiny tea set made of polished acorns and dewdrops, just waiting for a fairy tea party. Together, they sat and watched in awe as an enchanting group of fairies fluttered gracefully and danced effortlessly through the air, their shimmering wings catching the light and creating a mesmerizing spectacle of magic and wonder. Time seemed to melt away, filled with laughter and whispers of wonder. But slowly, gently, the magical glow began to soften. The sparkling dust started to drift upwards, the colours of the fairyland becoming a little less bright. "All right, my little sprites," Grandma said softly. "All magic must rest so it can return even stronger another day." The glitter swirled one last time, then soared up to the ceiling, disappearing with a final shimmer. The brook faded, the willow trees softened back into curtains. The toadstools became the squashy sofa again, and the mossy ground was once more the familiar beige rug. The living room was back to normal, but it wasn't quite the same. A faint lingering sparkle hung in the air, and Olivia and Sophia felt a warmth in their hearts that they knew would stay with them. They ran to Grandma and hugged her tight. "Thank you, Grandma," Olivia squeezed. It was the best fairyland ever, Sophia declared, her eyes still sparkling. Grandma just winked. The best magic, my dears, is always carried within you. Now how about some cookies? And as they munched on chocolate chip cookies, Olivia and Sophia knew they couldn't wait for their next visit to their magic grandma, and the next adventure that magic glitter might bring.